On today's show, Raptor Bedliners is showing us some cool uses on a Jeep.
Welcome back to Performance TV. If you're out there off-roading your vehicle, yeah, you're having a lot of fun with it, but you're also probably beating the heck out of it. We can help you out with that. We have Scott here with us today from U-POL and a product called RAPTOR. What is RAPTOR?
RAPTOR is a bedliner. It's also a protective coating. You can use it on your hood, your entire vehicle, your step rails, pretty much everything you can think of.
So not only metal, but lots of other products or base things like plastic and wood, concrete. Yes. How does this all work?
As long as the surface is prepped correctly, there's not a problem with it.
Well, we have a Jeep here with us today that's been off-roaded quite a bit. It's looking pretty rough. And how important is it when you have a vehicle like this to really get the prep done right?
Prep is everything. You know, if you prep it right, you have no problems. But, you know, you can have some problems with any material out there if the surface is not prepped correctly.
Well, we see the hood on the roof on our Jeep is in really bad shape. What all are we going to do to it?
Well, first we cleaned it. Make sure all the dirt and everything's off of it. Then we sanded it down. We did a light scuff on it with 120 grit, washed it off with wax and grease remover, let it flash, and we were ready to spray.
What about some of the areas where you can't really get into sand?
If you can't get into sand, we actually have a product called Grip 4. It's a adhesion promoter for the areas that you can't get in with your hands or your DA or anything like that.
Well, when you're dealing with all the sanding and everything else, you really want to make sure you're doing it safely too. And I know you guys really are into the safety part of applying all of this.
And we have, you know, you want to wear your gloves. We've got dust masks for when you're sanding. You definitely want to wear a respirator when you're spraying product. We've got the glasses to protect your eyes, paint suits, everything.
Okay, so we have the vehicle all prepped or whatever we're going to be doing. This today is our Jeep. What is our next step? How easy is this to mix?
Fill, shake, and shoot. It's that simple. You can use the same bottle. You take the activator, you pour it up to the line, or you can pour it into a mixing cup up to 250 milliliters, pour it inside the bottle, shake it for 2 minutes, and then use our shoots gun.
Scott, we know how important it is for all of the prep before we apply the RAPTOR. What about the actual application? Speed, distance, I mean, do we have to be concerned with any of that?
When you're applying RAPTOR, it's still personal preference, but if you want it thicker and more chunkier, you lower the air pressure and get a little bit closer and move a little bit slower. But if you really want a nice fine, you jack the air pressure up, not a whole lot, just a little bit, because we recommend anywhere from 40 to 70. And it's all about your distance and the speed that you're applying product. The faster you go, it's just going to move it very quickly. And if you want, you can back it up and get a really fine tint if you've got the air pressure turned.
And I also want to point out all of the different colors that we can do.
You can do, the biggest thing is white. People are amazed that our white holds out. We have the strongest UV protection. You can do any color you want. Just take the paint coat off the vehicle and mix it up to 10%.
Now, that's something else I want to point out. So, boxes are pretty big size here. How many bottles do we have of
You
RAPTOR?
have 4 bottles of RAPTOR inside, then you get 1 liter of the hardener.
We have a red Jeep. We decided to go with black to kind of give it a really great two-tone look. It's done. What do you say we go take a look?
Fantastic.
Wow, Scott, this is not, are you sure this is the same Jeep?
It's the same Jeep.
That we brought in. The RAPTOR just looks absolutely and feels amazing. Now, we had the front and rear bumper. What else did we do?
We did the step rails, we did the hood, and we did the roof.
Speaking of the hood looks like it's a little bit different texture than what we have on the roof.
We did. We did 2 different textures. The bumpers and step rails and the roof are all in one texture, and then we did the hood in a different texture. It's not as coarse as the rest of it.
Now, you had mentioned earlier that we could do more than just metal.
Yes, we can. We can do the mirrors, we can do the fender flares, but it's still about the prep. I know you're looking at a couple different substrates, but with the fender flares and the mirrors, because they're plastic, you still need to sand them down, 120 to 180 grit. Once those are sanded down, you wash it down with wax and grease remover, and then you hit it with the Grip 4, and once it flashes off, you can spray RAPTOR to it.
Well, I tell you what, this just turned out absolutely amazing. Scott, thanks for joining us, man. Let's go out, have some fun with this, and not scratch it all.